Dan Senor is a former foreign policy advisor to Mitt Romney. He's also co-author of Startup Nation, the story of Israel's economic miracle. And he's recently tweeted his support for positions taken by the Israeli government. Dan, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Anthony.
The last conflict like this back in 2014 lasted 6 weeks. We heard Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu say that an immediate end to the fighting is not imminent, I should say. When do you think we'll see a ceasefire?
Well, to your point, 2014 lasted about 50 days. The Israeli war in Gaza in 2008 and 2009 lasted a little over 3 weeks. So we're only just a little over a week in. The Israeli government is seeing three dynamics at work here. One, the administration has not issued a red light. They obviously haven't issued a green light. They kind of see it somewhere between yellow and green, meaning do what you have to do to take out Hamas, which the Biden administration has been very clear is a terrorist organization. Israel left Gaza in 2005. They've been subjected to these Israel's been subjected to these thousands of rockets. The administration does not equate Hamas with the plight of the Palestinian people. They view it as a separate terrorist organization. So do what you have to do to degrade Hamas's capabilities. Just do it quickly. So that's one dynamic. They feel pressure from the administration, the Israeli government does, but not a lot of pressure. Secondly, the Arab world, in the previous fights and wars in Gaza, the Arab world has been putting enormous pressure on the parties to de-escalate and end the hostilities. While there have been statements from the Arab world, they've been much softer, probably a product of recent events like the Abraham Accords and other changes in the region. And lastly, there's been pressure from the international community, but again, nothing near what we saw in 2014, 2008, and 2009. So I just think the temperature is different than it used to be. It feels very hot in the moment, but relatively speaking, it's not.
Yeah, although if these images of tumbling buildings continue to appear on our screens, the pressure may build. Do you think it's ultimately going to take a third party to step in? Is it going to take the U.S. to step in?
No, I think the administration has sort of three buckets that they make clear in all their conversations that they're focused on. They're focused on COVID, they're focused on climate change, and they're focused on China. And unless any particular issue fits into one of those categories, they do not want to expend a lot of political capital on solving that problem. So they do not appear to want to get dragged into the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And again, they do not appear to want to start, negotiating with Hamas. So I think they will play a role, but not a lead role. I think you should look for Egypt right now. Historically, Egypt has, played an intermediary role in bringing down the temperature in these situations, and I think Egypt's going to play a role again. But Israel has made it clear that they need a few more days here. I mean, if you look at their public statements, you look at Prime Minister Netanyahu's interview with John Dickerson yesterday on Face the Nation. I mean, they're making it clear that they are degrading Hamas's military capabilities, and they need to keep working at it. So I think we're still probably at least a few days away.
Given the administration's cautious approach here, do you think this latest escalation in any way changes the U.S.-Israeli relationship?
I think that the Israeli leadership believes that the U.S.-Israeli relationship is in a stronger position today than they would have thought it would have been in the Biden administration. The Israeli leaders went into the Biden administration with some concern, with some apprehension about a serious shift from the approach of the Trump administration. Now, I don't think the Biden administration is going to be anywhere near the Trump administration, but as your previous report noted, there are fissures within the Democratic Party, and there is enormous pressure on the Biden administration from progressives in Congress to take a tougher approach to Israel. And so far, the Biden administration has not done so. So I think the Israeli leadership is sort of pleasantly surprised by the softer tone that the administration has taken relative to what they expected.
All right. Dan Senor, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.